Hey everybody, Fulcher Rash. Welcome back to 365 Days of Irish Tenor Banjo Tunes. We're on day 106 today. We're going to be doing a reel as my reel to jig ratio is still quite off. I have a lot more reels in the book to cover than I do jigs. We're going to be doing number 194 in the Banjo Buddy's big book of 365 Irish tunes. It's called George White's Favorite and it's a reel in G. If you're just joining us for the first time, this was my New Year's resolution. Pick up the banjo once a day and try and learn a new tune. Well, not so much learn, I sight read a new tune. I guess if I was learning them, I would remember them, but I'm a beginner, and it's really about me picking up the instrument at least once a day and trying to improve. And so on average, I play anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour is kind of average. Sometimes I do more if I'm working on something complex or it's the weekend or something like that. But today we're just going to do hopefully what is a simple one. We might add some more indentation the second time through. I'm not sure. This is one of those tunes though that when you're first starting out, I found was completely unreachable for me until I had played for a little bit. Like I said, we're on day 106 of this, and that's because it's got a high B. And if you struggle to reach the high B, I'll give the tip that I've given numerous times, and this is a very good tune to practice it on because you're often just going from the A or the 5th fret to the high B, okay? So it's just the one. I find if you're jumping, there. I find if you're jumping from the 3rd fret all the way up to the B, it's not something you can just sort of pivot and do. You kind of have to have a little jump. Whereas here, it's just a matter of either pivoting or reaching out. So the tips that I have, so if you look at where my thumb is right now, it's somewhere, you don't want to have it any higher than kind of the 3rd fret. And if you're using your ring finger on the 5th fret, then it's just a pretty simple pivot with your pinky. And that's something, if you're not I come from guitar, and I'm not a great guitar player, but I've been playing for a little while, so I have some strength in my pinky. And if it's not something you're used to doing, maybe you just sit here for a while and practice that. But see, it's just kind of a simple pivot. But you can't do that. A lot of players, I think when they start out, they kind of have their thumb resting kind of higher up on the neck because most of what we play is kind of in these first 5 frets, and you can be up here and it's pretty comfortable for that. But when you want to get to that high one, either slide your thumb down, or just even for these, you can have your thumb generally resting a little bit higher up, and then that pivot becomes easier. And really, there's no reason, especially if you play with a strap like I do, but even otherwise, if your banjo's sitting in your lap, that you don't need to have some sort of death grip. Your thumb should just be kind of resting nice and loose on there. Anyways, rambly tip. Like I was saying, we're going to play George White's Favorite. First time through, we always do really nice and slow, which is great if you're a beginner and you want to play along, and then I will do some practice and try and pick up the pace, and even that, though, really is easy to follow along with if you're a beginner. I think I've practiced that one long enough for tonight. I know it's not perfect, but that's often how it goes for me. I do my best on the slow one, and then I try and let loose a little bit on the faster pace, which is kind of funny because letting loose for me is like, you can see the speed there. It's nowhere near what the good guys play, but like I said, I'm still a beginner, and I'm happy with that. And that's it for tonight. We'll see you all tomorrow. Slán.